on Astraea, on the Astraea SMP, and it's my birthday. Well, not my birthday, but it's my channel's birthday. We're 1 year old on YouTube, which I didn't join Astraea on this day. so really I should be like touring my Forever World, but I haven't really touched my Forever World in a little bit, so I'm gonna tour Astraea because that's the more recent or more thank you Razi for joining the chat. Yeah, so Astraea has the more recent builds and also has the I don't know, more progress I guess in the last year than my Forever World, if I'm honest. And we are going to walk through all that progress. We are going to tour every single build, every game, every little thing that I've done on the server. So hopefully that's something that you're interested in. And really it gives everybody who's like a recent subscriber, gives them a chance to catch up. Because I realize, you know, with an ongoing series like my Astraea series, which I think I'm in, 20th episode I just published last week, I think. Yeah, you fall pretty far behind and it's kind of intimidating to catch up. So this is going to give you an opportunity to catch up, given it's going to be like an hour and 40 minutes. That's usually how long I stream for, but at least it's something. So we are streaming on YouTube and Twitch, and I made a cake. Cakes are ridiculous in this game. This is the third one I made. It was a mad scramble. I signed into the server about 15 minutes ago, and I had to look up the recipe because I always forget. So 3 milk buckets, 2 pieces of sugar, an egg, and 3 pieces of wheat. So you're full crafting, like the 9x9 grid, or the 3x3 grid rather, the 9 elements. It's full to craft this stupid thing. And then, I mean, I don't know who knows this, probably everybody but me, but you can't silk touch the stupid thing. So then I set it down, and then I try to silk touch it, and it disappears. So that's nice. You can't put it on like scaffolding or like anything other than like a full block. So that's awesome. Yeah, so this is the third cake. Stupid game. All right, let's get on to the tour. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna leave my cake here. It's just a lonely cake. Let's sleep really quick before we get into the tour. It's just me and dog on right now, which seems to be a pattern. Me and dog on while I stream. I'm sure more players will join shortly after. So I joined the server, and like everybody who joins the server, I showed up at spawn, which is way in the distance over there. Voxy is out of date now. I updated Sodium, so I can't see that far, which it's kind of ridiculous when you can't see that far. Hi, Jordan. Thank you for joining chat on Twitch. Okay, so the first thing I did when I came to this island the first build was this lighthouse. But the first thing I did was actually dig a hole in the ground. So right beneath, right about here, I think, is all my villager trading hall, my iron farm, just a bunch of stuff like that, which I'll show you in 1 second. But first, let's go into the first build, which is this lighthouse. So I do have an episode dedicated to this lighthouse, a YouTube episode. It is modeled after the I can't remember now. I'm very ill prepared. I'm sorry. It's modeled after a real life lighthouse that actually is on the same island that I modeled the greenhouse after, which is Belle Isle in Detroit, Michigan. It's a state park in Detroit, Michigan. So this was the first build. I kind of struggled to get the blocks and everything, I think, because I think I did this in the first like week and a half or something. Let me go free cam just so you can kind of see it. And I remember struggling to get the quartz and having to mine quite a bit for the diorite and all that good stuff, and the copper. It's pretty light though. It's pretty light on the needs. It's not the most massive build, but it still took me a little while. It took me like a few days to gather that stuff. The trees were not around it, and there were trees actually around it. This entire area was just vanilla jungle trees and oak trees and stuff like that. So this little corner was basically just the first thing I did was deforest it, essentially. But the rest of the island was this huge mountain. It came up to about, I'd say, maybe here. So about 140, maybe 140 blocks up. And it was just massive. It was massive. It was jungle island. It is a jungle island, completely packed full of trees, very thick, like dense jungle, very similarly to, let me show you, right behind, there's another jungle island, very similar to this, even taller though, and more intimidating. And I didn't like it. I liked the fact that I guess the size of the island, that was what I was initially attracted to. I liked the size, but I didn't like the mountainous terrain. So after this build, I moved on to this build, and then I flattened the entire island. This build took quite a while to get all the glass. Luckily, everybody on the server on Astraea was very giving and provided me the majority of the tuff and the glass. Actually, old Schlegdog, who's on the server right now, gave me quite a quantity of glass. So without them, it would have probably taken 3 times longer for me to get this build done. But this is the second build that I did on the island, and I actually carved into that mountain in order to achieve this build. So prior to me flattening the island, there was a huge wall, like right here, straight up to 140. So straight up to about here. Just this giant wall. And I dug that all by hand, and to this day I still have tons of stone from that dig. Let me show you really quick in my storage, which this is more recent. This greenhouse was empty for the longest time, and I finally about a month ago moved this storage in, and here is the result of all that stone. So nearly a full double chest of full shulkers of stone is what I have. And this, I'd say a good 90% of this stone is from that dig. I actually started throwing away anytime I was in a big dig. After that, I just started tossing the stone because I didn't want to store it all. Okay, let's go into the underground layer. So originally I just had a drop chute like right over by the lighthouse, but now I moved it over here. I'm going to move it again. I want like stairwells or something like that. But the first thing I really did when I got into Astraea was make this, which is an iron farm combo villager breeder. So 3 villagers here scared by this pillager, and a carrot farmer up in this area who is tossing carrots. Right now he's blocked off because I was getting too many villagers. I just didn't need that many villagers, but usually this is open and he tosses carrots through to these 3 guys and they breed, and then the baby villager tries to go to an open bed on either side, falls, and then goes down the same pit that the iron golems fall down, but the baby villager's short enough where he doesn't feel the effects of the hot tub. Then he falls into this little pool, grows up, and becomes one of these guys. So these guys have been here for months now. I think there's like a dozen or so in here. And you'll see the iron golem, and that's his fate. So I just redecorated this. It's my most recent episode. Episode 20 is me actually redecorating. So originally it was just a lot of cobblestone and stone, nothing special really, just a hole in the ground. And I just kept on sprawling in the area. The villager trading hall was probably my second endeavor after the villager breeder / iron farm. And I got all the books of the stuff that I wanted at the time. So, you know, I'm breaking 3, silk touch, looting 3, mending, depth strider 3, infinity, all that stuff was efficiency 5. He's an important boy as well. All that stuff I worked on. These guys are a little less important, but still important nonetheless. I might switch out a few of these guys in due time. Hello, Beggy_R. Hello, thank you for joining the chat. I might swap out some of these guys. Like now we have like lunge enchantment and stuff like that. So I might try to figure that out. These 3 were my most important initially because these 3 will take the iron, the excess iron from the iron farm, and trade it for emeralds. And that's basically how I've been acquiring emeralds from day one, is trading with these guys. I don't really do too many other like I don't have farmers, really a ton of farmers to do the pumpkin, melon trades or anything like that. So it's just basically these 3 guys that have been, these 3 guys that have been getting me there. I have 3 masons because I wanted a bunch of quartz for the greenhouse and for the lighthouse. So I had these guys, and at bonus they gave me bricks as well. So I was mainly using the emeralds that I got from these 3 to trade with these 3 in order to get a bunch of quartz. And that was basically, I mean, it still is to this day, my main source of quartz is these 3 guys. This is all the villagers I have, though. I don't have any clerics. I have 2 farmers running around. Obviously the farmer that is powering the villager breeder, but I have another farmer that is a wheat farmer. We'll get to that guy in a second. And my most recent guy actually is a fisherman, and I'll get to that when I get to the bridge and the gatehouse and everything. But yeah, that's this area. And then I started like just sprawling around. So this is a mushroom farm. So it's at the light level that I can put brown mushrooms, bone meal them, and then grow them up. Because I like the mushroom stem for builds. I know you only get like 4 or 5 of those per mushroom, but it's a really cool thing to have. And let's see, I have cactus mainly for the green dye. I have this resin farm, so 1 creaking in here. Nothing major, not like super great supply or anything, but I just needed a little bit of resin for a fake like little orange tree that I made out by the pond. This is a dripstone farm, a pointed dripstone farm. I usually trade with my villagers, my mason villagers, to get dripstone blocks for building, but I wanted some pointed dripstone just in case. So this is like a super slow farm. I think there's only 4 pointed dripstone. This is a rocket farm, autocrafter actually, not farm. A rocket autocrafter that I used also in my rocket shop. So I have the rocket shop in the server, which we will go over soon. Sheep farm for wool. I have quite a bit of wool upstairs in my storage as well. So these 2 little guys, they've been kicking. They have been kicking. A chicken farm, from no apparent reason. I just have chickens. I don't know why. I don't need this. I don't really use this, but they're in here. All right, and that is it for the farms on this level. I also have a couple little guys over here. So snow farm, I like to build with snow blocks. So needed this guy and a 2 tall flower or hanging vine kind of farm. So for the 2 tall flowers, what I'll do is I'll remove that block and put a mud block above this hopper. And then there's a dispenser right behind here that's probably empty right now, but I'll fill it with bone meal, flip this lever, and there's a little torch loop that will bone meal either the 2 tall flowers or, you know, all these different hanging vines to give me that stuff. And then up here I have my carrot farmer that I use also to trade golden carrots with. So he's one of 2 farmers that I trade golden carrots with. All right, that is it for the underground area. Let's move on to my next build. So after the greenhouse, I built this. So this I freehanded. I didn't use a creative schematic or anything like that. I just freehanded this this pond area. Right now there's a couple axolotls in there. I just added them. Actually, I had tropical fish and stuff, but they kept on getting stuck in corners, and now the axolotl are getting stuck in corners. I think you can see one right over here. He's probably stuck right now. And there's one right there stuck. They get stuck behind these walls. You can't have anything decorative in Minecraft, it seems, without mobs getting stuck. I put a bunch of frogs around here too, but they have since... I don't even know where they're at. They're spread all over the place, except for one guy, my frog light. So he hopped up there, and it's more than 3 blocks down, so he won't jump down unless I build up to him. He's not gonna jump down. He's stuck there for life. So he's my frog light. I'm not really a big fan of how this looks, but whatever. Originally, this pond was a lot less lush, a lot less green around it. So I've been building up slowly. All the trees are fairly new. Here's my citrus tree that I use the, the resin for. But yeah, I think it's turning out pretty good. It's supposed to kind of look like a man-made pond. So I need to steal a frog. Decide exactly, Rozzy. It's Rozzy in chat. I need to what was I going to say? I intentionally made this look kind of like a man-made pond. It's not supposed to be like a natural thing because I modeled this after the pond that actually is in this specific location in the with the greenhouse in real life. So anybody who ever visits Detroit, check out Belle Isle. This is the conservatory on Belle Isle, and yeah, this is the pond. It kind of looks similar. All right, and then my build after that was these two nurseries right over here. So the first nursery is right here. Again, I have the rocket shop, which I will cover the rocket shop. The rocket shop actually was built before this nursery, but I built this nursery specifically for a sugarcane farm. So I wanted something nice, something aesthetic. I didn't want like just sugarcane out in the open with like a flying machine above it. It is flying machine harvested. Here, let me harvest it really quick just so you can kind of see what it looks like without these guys super tall. So up on the roof, there's a lever, and that lever will harvest the sugarcane. And you'll notice these allays flying around as I pick up some sugarcane, flying around and then dumping all the sugarcane. I try to throw it at that note block, and it falls on mud. And mud isn't a full block, so there's hoppers underneath, which I'll show you in 1 second, that pick up all that sugarcane. Let me put this away first. It picks up all that sugarcane. Where is my access? Right here. Jeez, I keep on picking up sugarcane. And right over here is a little observer clock that pushes it through this water stream on blue ice, up the bubble column, and then it is harvested, or stored rather, right here in this nice little aesthetic shelf. So I mainly have this thing off because it just produces so much. So I have just like a huge surplus of sugarcane. Sorry for anyone with the flashing. But that's the only real farm in this nursery, is just the sugarcane. Everything else is just aesthetic. I did at one point have the sugarcane overflowing in almost every single chest and barrel around, but I've since been kind of using it all at my rocket shop and slowly getting through it. And then the next nursery, this side, I built as, I don't know, fourth. I'm losing count as far as how many builds, but this one I packed full of farms. Sugarcane is over there, but this one has very similar design for bamboo on this side. And bamboo grows really fast, so I didn't really need to have that much area, which is off as well. And same situation, I have a lever on the roof that I can turn it on. And then I have a bee farm that gives me both honey bottles and honeycomb, but the honey bottles are actually auto-crafted into honey blocks. I needed honey blocks for redstone contraptions and what have you, so that's why that is there. All the rest of this, let's go inside really quick, is just aesthetic, but I think it turned out really cool inside. You know, the bees like their flowers and stuff, so, like, dude, you trying to push me, man? You trying to push me? But yeah, we have just flowers kind of scattered about, cherry blossoms as well as flowering azalea, so it attracts them. And the funny thing is, they usually go to these guys, to the torch flowers. And here's one stuck in the corner like an idiot. I had this closed off, this little, like, all the redstone is exposed, but I had it closed off and I had to open it up because the bees kept on phasing through the hives into back here, and then they'd get trapped, and it was a whole thing. So it's just like, all right, I just need to open it up. So now it's open, but I still like I like the look of the redstone being exposed. I know a lot of people try to hide it, and I even try to hide it at times, but in this case, I actually have it exposed. I think it looks kind of fun. I also have some pumpkins and melons that it's just 4 of each, but it works. But yeah, the aesthetics of this little area I think are really nice. I'm really proud of how this one turned out. This is how the bottles get returned to these two hives. These two hives are the only ones. Originally I had 4 that were dedicated bottles, but now it's only these 2 that are dedicated to the honey blocks. All right, and this is a very similar situation to my sugarcane, so this is where I collect all the bamboo. But when they get to this, when the bamboo gets to this column, it actually gets auto-crafted into bamboo planks right here. And then I just yesterday, or maybe the day before and yesterday, just added this hopper that actually leads these bamboo planks into a super smelter, which is underground, kind of in between here and my storage. I'll show you that, but it will have to wait. I also have this guy. He is a farmer farming wheat, but this ally steals the wheat. His inventory's full, so he can't really fit any more wheat in his pockets, but this guy will steal him and then dump it into this note block right here. And then there's a hopper right back here, which puts it into this chest. And as you can see, I've been compressing it into hay bales, but I could probably rig up a auto crafter situation here as well, but I can't be bothered right now. All right. That is the nursery. The next build is, I think I did the creeper farm before I did the pavilion. So let's run over here. So this is my creeper farm. It's modeled after a water intake facility, actually on that same island that has the greenhouse, Belle Isle in Detroit. So it's a water intake facility. In my lore, this is a desalination water intake facility. So that's how the island, which by the way is a park. I missed that part. So the lore of my island is that this is like a national park or state park or provincial park or something along those lines. It's essentially like a public resource that people like to go to enjoy the outdoors. But this in the lore is a water intake facility. In Minecraft, it is a creeper farm. So let me turn on gamma really quick so you can actually see. So it's got, I think, 2 sets of 5 platforms. And yeah, you see the water flushing them out. So essentially creepers will spawn on these platforms. They're all spider-proofed. That's why there's a bunch of spruce planks around. But creepers will spawn, stand here, get pushed down into this magma block, into this, there's actually one right there, and then flow all the way down here. If they don't die by the time they get down here, they will die into the soul camp fires. And then this, there's another observer clock with a dropper that pushes everything up to one of my patented, right here, my patented storage. So this I have running pretty well. Again, I'm the rocket shop proprietor, so I need huge quantities of both gunpowder and sugarcane. All right, so that's that build, and let's go and visit the pavilion, which is, again, I did my rocket shop. I built my rocket shop prior to this pavilion. Actually, I think I built my rocket shop, yeah, even prior to the creeper farm or these nurseries. But this isn't exactly in order. For convenience sake, we'll cover what's on the island first. Let me sleep. All right. Okay, so this is a pavilion. This is the only build that doesn't have real function. It's just kind of an aesthetic build, but a park wouldn't be a park without a good sized pavilion that, the citizens of Astraea can rent out and have their parties or get-togethers or what have you. I did kind of go all out with the look at this. It is modeled after, I think, a Yellowstone. I think it's Yellowstone. It might be Yosemite, a national park in the United States. Most parks in the United States have pavilions that are very similar to this, but this one I think I did model after either Yosemite or Yellowstone, one of those out west parks, but it did have this like really cool mainly cobble fireplace or chimney. So I have that going on. And then inside we have picnic tables and a nice, very large fireplace. I also did some armor stand tricks. So these are my fireplace tools. And here's stacks of wood ready to be placed in the fireplace. These picnic tables are kind of stolen. I know B-Dubs has done something similar. Other people have done something similar. I did add this little cross brace and stuff like that underneath, but they're pretty much a common design that you've seen around. After that, I built this. This is an automatic campfire. It turns on at night and turns off during the day. Underneath the ground, you'll see there's a little redstone machine, and you'll see that flint and steel is ready to go, but then water buckets. So basically this cycles around these droppers and dispensers, these two items, and has the correct timing to actually pick up the water and then dump the water and light. It's all powered by eye blossoms. So these guys are kind of viral. That's why there's so many down here. But this observer detects when one opens, and when it opens at night, it will light it, and then it detects when it closes, and then it'll extinguish it. Unfortunately, the only way out is to use a rocket or to climb, I guess, with scaffolding or something like that. But yeah, I think this turned out really cool. Very, very few nights on this SMP. Everybody tends to sleep before the SMP, before the night can actually fall, but I built it anyways. I think it's kind of cool. All right. Let's see. I think that does it for the island, except for over here, which is an exit to the island. And if anyone is familiar with my channel, they would probably be familiar with what this is. And that is a giant bridge. So this is what is called a through arch bridge. It's modeled after a real life bridge called the Tyne Bridge in Newcastle, England. It is 160 meters long in real life and in Minecraft. But yeah, this one took 20 plus hours to actually build on the server, and even more time to design it in a creative world. I measured from this side to that side, but selfishly, the reason that I built this is because the gaming district is this island right over here. You can see a Pigman, which is a game I made. You can also see a tent, and we'll get to those in a second. But this is probably my favorite build. I mean, not probably, it is my favorite build on the server. Probably my favorite build I've ever done in Minecraft in general. It's absolutely massive and looks absolutely tremendous, if I say so myself. But yeah, it takes a while. It takes a good few minutes to walk across. Unfortunately, with everybody has Elytra. Not many people do walk across, but I do think it looks really, really cool. This is more recent. This is a gatehouse, so a way to enter the park. I am planning on adding some signage up here, but I just recently actually named the park. There is a small sign right over here that has that name, which is Mikinak. So Mikinak is snapping turtle in Ojibwe, which is a Native American tribe or Native American nation, part of the Algonquin nation in the Midwest, mainly around Michigan and Ohio in the United States. But this is welcome to Mikinak. Please speak with the attendant to pass. So what you have to do is you actually right click on this fisherman, and that will bring down the gate. So that's all done with a calibrated skulk sensor and magic. It's magic. But yeah, I like the lore is that you're giving this guy a ticket or something like that, or maybe showing your park pass or something along those lines. The exit is just a push button and then you can exit. So that is that's the gatehouse. It's obviously modeled after these towers to give it kind of a feel that, fits in with everything. All right, before we get to the gaming district, let's check out all the trees and the property in general. So all these roads, I spent quite a few weeks making these kind of textured and fun looking, but all of them are on this same Y level right now. But the most time that I've dedicated as far as the property is the trees. So every tree is a custom tree. Not every single one of them are unique. I made them all, every single tree except for one, which is the big beautiful one. This is actually made by a fellow Astraea player, and he gifted me the schematic. I did retexture it because the texture didn't quite fit with my other trees, so I did retexture it. However, it is not an original design. Every other design is original, but when I say they're not unique, I have duplicates. So I think like this tree is a duplicate of, say, this tree, you know, stuff like that. I'm not insane, but all of them are custom. No vanilla trees exist on this island and will not exist on this island. That's kind of the whole point. My plan is to make an entire forest out in this direction. So all the grass that you see out here will be forested area, very thick, lush forest. This section, the Badlands section, will end up being a burned out, like a forest fire kind of area. So there will be like magma blocks and lava and stuff like that to make this look more burned. Over here will be more forest, a little bit more lightly forested though, because I have a plan to do a very large statue right here. And that will kind of be the figurehead. It's actually going to be a very large snapping turtle. That's my plan, is to do a snapping turtle. That's the first time I've said that on any video or stream. So that's actually one of my next builds. Is going to be a very, very large snapping turtle statue with it kind of in a fountain, that kind of look. Over here is going to be a beach. I've already kind of built it out a little bit, but need to build it out a lot more. But it will be a little bit more seamless from the sand up into the stone and grass. But yeah, I have quite a lot of blocks to place in order to get this beach going. But that is the plan for the island. Let's now go over to the gaming district. So let's fly through the bridge so you can see. And on the gaming district side, so when I joined Astraea, we had a shopping district, we had spawn and all that good stuff, but we didn't have any sort of place to build games, and I'm really into making mini games. So I fought on our Discord to move it here selfishly because I wanted it to be close to my base, just so it's easier to like move things back and forth. And I won because I had the first game to build, and that game is right here. It's called Scuteboard. It's essentially shuffleboard in Minecraft. I also built this tent. The tent is essentially housing the nether portal, which is how most players get into the gaming district, because we are quite a bit north here. Spawn is closer to 0 on the z-axis, and yeah, obviously we're on -3000. So these guys, these are the pucks of the shuffleboard game of Scuteboard. These guys are extras. They're just placed out here just in case something bad happens. But essentially, here, let me just do it, just so you can kind of see exactly how this is played. All right, so what you do is you come over here and you choose a side. You either the red or the not red, I guess. Red because these guys are dinner bone, so they have the underside of the armadillo showing, and then these guys aren't. So you pick a side, whether you want to be this side or that side. You get 4 pucks, and then drink a weakness potion. So you're under the effect of weakness. Then you have a stone sword with knockback 2 and breaking 3 and mending. And you position your puck along this line right here. And it just has to be touching the line. It doesn't have to be before it. So like right here, this is a perfectly fine placement. And then you hit it with the sword and try to get it as close to this edge, even hanging off, as possible. So you'll see these numbers. This is the 3-point zone, 2-point zone, and 1-point zone. So I'll just give this a whack and see how I do. I haven't played in a while. Right over. So that counts for nothing. That's in the gutter. Let's sleep really quick. Nope. Hopefully that was too far away, not monsters nearby. Okay, someone slept. All right. Let's try another whack from the other side. So I'll be both my opposition and me. And I have videos on my channel for this, obviously. As far as I know, I'm the first person to make a game, not make shuffleboard, but make it exactly like this. All right, so we go up, we whack it. Ooh, I think he's still on the edge. He is. So that's what's called a hanger. So that will actually count for 4 points. So it counts for 3 because it's in this zone, but it counts for a point extra, given your opponent doesn't knock it out. So now from the opponent's side, my objective would be to knock that guy out, but not knock myself out either. So somehow maintain on the board, but knock that guy out. Yep, perfect. So that gave me probably 3 points. Yeah, it's not a hanger. That's now 3 points. So you do that until all 8 pucks are knocked over, and then whatever player's pucks are the farthest this way in this case, or that way in that case, if you're shooting that direction. Whoever's the farthest, you add up those points. So right now, say if everybody else's pucks were back here, I would get a score of 3. So yeah, that's how, and you play up to 15. So that's how Scuteboard is played. We have banners signifying the score. I hide them down here. Aegis, a fellow player on the server, made me these, but this is my first game that I put on the on Astraea on the server. There's blue ice under here. That's why everything's so slippery. Right here. So blue ice, even with slabs on top, everything still slips around, as you can see. There's also zombified piglin hidden. I think ones might be like right here or so. They're hidden underground, and that is why the armadillos stay rolled up, because they'll stay rolled up in a, I think the diameter around them, a radius of like 7 around them, they'll stay scared. They do get injured though. You'll see, actually these guys are still full health, so, but they will get injured. Not that bad, but you do have to watch while you're playing, because even rolled up, it's a myth that they don't take any damage whatsoever. Even rolled up, they will take a little bit of damage. All right, and that is my first game. My second game, Tummy Ache Survivors for the win. Yeah, Razi in chat. Our first tournament, her team came in first. I had trophies and everything. The trophies look fantastic. It was a really good time. Check out the video. It's a stream, 3 hours long, but it's worth the watch. I think it's a really good time. All right, over here is my second game, and it is a lot more involved. A lot more involved. It's called Pigman. So it's essentially Pac-Man in Minecraft. Let's get some dramatic views first. Let's see, hide up Birdie as well. So right over here is the coolest view, I think, of Pigman from the exterior. Got my bridge in the background, beautiful sign. So essentially this is Pac-Man in Minecraft, at least my take on Pac-Man. Instead of ghosts though, it's zombified piglin. Because the chase mechanic, the anger chase mechanic. This side is kind of like a little storefront that houses 2 lecterns for either hosting the game, instructions for hosting the game, or instructions for playing the game. I have that on that side. And this side is an arcade. So I modeled this after a real-life arcade in Chicago called the Galloping Ghost. And all these are arcade cabinets. And they don't just serve an aesthetic objective, they also serve as a scorekeeping. So as players play the game, as soon as you successfully play, whether you only get to level 1 or you get to level 2 or what have you, you can claim one of these arcade cabinets and put your name on the sign. So as you'll see, some of these have been claimed. So Neon Fire got to level 4. I only got to level 2. I'm pathetic. I invented the game. I haven't really played it that much though. Evan, level 9, he's ridiculous, but the most ridiculous one is the man who just joined, which is Birdie, level 10. I cannot even believe that someone got to level 10. This game is fairly difficult. Anyone who's played it will attest to this. It's fairly difficult. So, and we are going to play it. I'm going to play it right now. I'm going to play a quick round. I'm not very good at it, so it won't last long. Let me move piglins in first from the nether. Play a quick round just so you guys can kind of see what it's all about. This is the game board. The area that I'm in right now is the spectating area. There's 4 piglins on all the corners. Let me go in free cam really quick. And this is so the piglins maintain line of sight, because as you're running around this board, the glass actually prevents the piglins that are chasing you from maintaining line of sight. So I had to store some of these guys over here. But right over here is a door. Birdie in chat is saying that he doesn't think he's got past level 6 since getting that high. Okay, what was I doing? Yeah, up here is a little chamber that I'm going to enter into the nether. Birdie, by the way, this is a talk. This is inside baseball a little bit, but me and Birdie were actually troubleshooting some changes in 1.21.11 where the piglin were not falling into this chamber properly. They were kind of getting clogged up into different places. You're about to see that, viewers who are unfamiliar with what I'm talking about. I think I got those issues fixed, by the way. All right, I'm going to shut off fog right now because I don't want to sit here and deal with not being able to see my little chamber. So I have my platform. So this is where I spawn them all, but up here is an AFK platform, kind of an AFK, a spawning platform, I guess. I don't really go AFK here. A 9x9 made of slabs. So I like to stand up here, spawn a bunch of piglin. I probably won't last that long, so I don't need to spawn a ton. Let me go into free cam though, just so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So down here, toward the floor of the ceiling, is 4 magma circles, magma block circles, with turtle eggs in the center. So all these guys are spawning, going after the turtle egg, and then they fall into this chamber. And this is all in preparation to get them moved over to that chamber so I can move them into the overworld. The reason it's way over here and not closer is because I needed another wasteland, and all of the gaming district is in the Soul Sand Valley. So this is the closest nether waste that I could get. Doesn't look that far with fog off, but it is. I think it's more than 32 chunks to that side. All right, let's spawn a bit more. Okay, that's probably good enough. I died over the weekend. Dog was my savior. He had a recovery compass. I died because the fog was so thick I ended up flying into the ground. Let's turn the fog back on though, because you gotta make this stuff look good. Oh no, I don't have that many hoppers. Well, that's not good. At least I have these full. That's probably enough right now. You can hear the baby piglins. They're dying in the corners. So that's this setup essentially. Is some baby piglins are in the center right now, but I wait for everybody to lose attraction to those turtle eggs in the center that they were originally attracted to, and then gain attraction to these turtle eggs, in which case they'll walk off sea. And any second now these babies will also gain attraction to the turtle eggs on the edge, and they're the only ones that I can actually get to them. And then I have wither roses that take them out when that does happen. Just a matter of moments, and they'll run to it. All right, yep, right there. So now it's ready for me to move piglins over into the next chamber. Flip this lever, you'll see a bunch of mine carts, 3 at a time. I also just increased the separation between the mine carts, and that helped this situation as well, with the zombified piglins not falling into that chamber. Again, I don't need a ton because I guarantee I'm not going to last long. It should be running pretty low on them. Oh, still going. All right, that should be enough. Let's fly over into this chamber. All right, yeah, you see it's pretty packed full. Yeah, so right now I repositioned it basically so these trapdoors are facing this direction now, and repositioned the glass and everything, so it seems to be working a little bit better now. Oh, what am I doing? I gotta flip the lever first. There we go. All right, let's start moving them over, and then I run over here. Hopefully this moves them over. Yep, we're good. So this acts as a bit of a chunk loader as well, and as long as no one else is in the nether, 128 blocks away from the little spawn area, then all these guys will stay. Okay, we didn't get a ton, but that's enough to play. All right, let's go up into the play area. Those guys will stay spawned as long as I don't go away, go more than 128 blocks away from them. All right, up here we go. You gotta go in without any armor and without any weapons. come on. Get hungry, get hungry, get hungry, get hungry, get hungry. I'm trying to get hungry for a second here so I can get my saturation up. Come on. There we go. All right. Let's go down here. Set our spawn, and you walk up, you punch this pig. You hear some music. Let me mute my other music really quick. Okay, there we go. And you'll see 4 piglins that are chasing you. These sometimes they get a little silly and they lose track of you, but for the most part they will chase you. Oh geez, that guy came close. Where is the beacon effect? There it is. Phew. The beacon effect gives you speed, regeneration, strength, and resistance. And what your objective is to collect all these glowing pellets. There's 78 total, so a stack and 14. And you get these health potions to either use on yourself or to kill piglins. I'm not sure if that guy died or what, but when you do kill the piglin, ooh. When you do kill the piglin, another one will spawn or drop from the ceiling. But then you also get food. And the name of the game is really to get as much food as possible, because if you starve, then you obviously slow down, and the piglins will definitely catch you. Ooh. Jeez. That was like right in the face. Okay, still got quite a few pellets to pick up. You can see the pellets because they're sitting on pressure plates that are on lamps as well, so that's all of them. All the pellets. Over here, see if I can drop it. Control Q, Control Q. That drops a full stack. Are these guys like invincible? There we go. Got that guy. Ooh, and if you get a sword, that's a bonus. You can take them on. If you kill them in quick succession like that, you will actually not get an extra piglin. If you kill them within 1 second, you will not get an extra piglin. You'll only get, or you won't get 2 extra piglins. You only get 1, because Calibrated Skull Sensor has a cooldown of 1. That's how I detect deaths, of 1 second. So that's a little cool bonus. Wow, I got quite the drops. Oh, jeez. Oh, I'm slow. Oh, I'm dead. Darn it. Okay, well, that's the game. And it'll reset. All these guys are probably despawned. Yeah, that's the problem with being on a multiplayer server, is unless you have another player nearby, when you die, you technically are 128 blocks or more away, so all your piglin that you have stored will despawn. I'm trying to get a AFK player kind of plugin installed on the server that will prevent that from happening, but that plugin hasn't been updated for 1.21.11, so it's just not going to work right now. Let's get this back up to where it was, which I think is right around there. Sorry, that's my music. Is that where my music was? Yeah, that's good. Cool. Probably just loud enough, but you can't really hear it that well. Okay, what else did I? Yep, this, and this. Okay, let's head over to the shopping district to show you that build. All right, cool. Yeah, Roz, you do need to play it. You definitely need to play it. It's a fun game. Let's head over to the nether portal up here to get into the shopping district. There's another game, or 2 other games. One is finished. Actually, 3 other games. One is finished. It's called Spleef. It's made by a player named Aegis. I haven't played that yet, though. Aegis isn't on the server that frequently, and I'm not exactly certain how to play it. Then there's this, which I think is going to be a dropper game. And then Neon Fire built this, which looks really cool, but he's having problems with the 7-segment displays. So I think he's kind of just burned out a little bit in trying to figure that out. But it's essentially a minecart juggling game, which looks really, really fun. I have 2 additional games that I'm working on as well, so they'll be around soon. Let me shut this off just so. All right, good. Okay, and then this line leads from my portal to main spawn and shopping district, where I have just one build, but it's still worth checking out other builds in this district as well. When I first joined the server, we probably only had maybe 5 or 6 shops, and now, shoo, we have well over a dozen, maybe 20 shops. But this is the shopping district, spawn area kind of shopping district. This, I think, is marking spawn. This is a build by the guy who gave me the tree, Devin, by the player who gave me the tree. But yeah, we have concrete and mud and skulk, just all kinds of stuff. Just a lot of stuff in this area. General shops, shulker shells, amethysts, all kinds of stuff. But over here is my shop. This is also my bridge. I built this bridge to connect the main shopping area to what I like to call the annex. Right over here. Oh, this is new. What is this? Or is this someone's? This isn't someone's base, right? I don't know what this is. I don't think it's been here though. I don't know. All right, over here, around the wizard tower, is my shop. It's a rocket shop. And we might as well check on stock too. Oh, this is a dragon by the server owner named Asumi. The dragon is named Tiny, and there's another huge dragon up here, made by Rubik's, along with what the Iosauron or whatever. I think I don't know what name it has, Mount Doom or something like that. Lord of the Rings reference over here. But yeah, this is the rocket shop. I modeled it after kind of like a Main Street building. My thinking was that I'm going to do multiple. I just have not. I have a design for a couple more, but I just have not gotten around to doing them. But I was going to do multiple shops and make like a little Main Street all along this strip. But that just hasn't happened yet. Now let's see if we have any sales. These are this Tier 1 rockets, no sales there. Tier 2 rockets, no sales there. And Tier 3, 2 sales. So, make that 6 sales. All right, let's put those away. And I'll show you guys how this all functions. So essentially I have a autocrafter situation. What's going on here? Okay, that's fine. Autocrafter made by a YouTuber named Rexstone, and it's really, really nifty to design. Oh, I did want 3. Duh. Never mind. I did want the power 3s. Okay. And yeah, you basically just do your recipe here, and then it automatically converts sugarcane into paper, pushes it in, and has a clock that times it perfectly to craft rockets. It's fairly compact too, which makes it really, really easy to use. So I need to do 6 stacks, and then I'll pop those back into my my chest down there, and then show you one additional build that I have on the server. And then I'll show you all the newer stuff that I've been working on, mainly like underground farmy stuff, but I think it's still kind of interesting. All right, 2 stacks. How's everybody doing out there in chat land? Chat is a little slow today, even though concurrent viewers are actually doing all right. All right, 3 stacks. Who else is on? It's me and Rubik's again. is the builder of all this. He actually just did this too. Huge ship out here and this giant wool farm, which is free. It's a public farm, which is just amazing. Actually used it for Pigman a lot because all the noodles are color-coded, all the redstone circuits are color-coded in that Pigman game. So this just came in clutch because I needed stacks upon stacks of just all these different colors of wool. And I had the wool for the most part, but I didn't have the dye ready to go. So this is just really, really cool. And he has this awesome container ship right over here. Brand new. I think I just noticed it on our dynamic map just yesterday or today. All right, where are we at? 5. We're almost have 6 stacks, and then I'll pop those in, and then we will move on to my public farm. I do have one public farm that I made right before I flattened my island because I needed a bunch of slime blocks for the TNT flying machines. That's how I flattened my island, which that's an episode. There's 2 episodes actually. One's called I blew my island or blew my base to bits or something, and another one's called a blank canvas. Highly recommend watching them. They're actually not that popular on my channel for some reason, but I think they turned out really good. And it just was a massive amount of work. Not saying that the work that you put in should enhance the value of the video. Like there's videos that you don't put that much work in and launch like crazy, but this one or these 2 I think are worth the watch. I'm really proud of how they turned out. All right. There's 6 stacks. Put the overflow here. And then, what am I doing? Right. All right, full stack. All right, let's go into the nether again and then fly over to the swamp where I have my slime farm. We have all these like little nether roads that really help navigationally get everybody around. I think it's right, yeah, it's right here. This is like a public area essentially, called Manhattan. That has a lot of public farms and what have you. All the builds aren't quite done, but a player named Ashley took over this area. How do I get down again? Every time I spawn over here, things change, and wait. Oh, is it up now? Okay, it's up now. Never mind. There we go. It's right over here. There's a witch farm right here in Yankee Stadium. But if you fly just, what would this be? Just south, essentially, of Manhattan, you will see this little monstrosity. Actually, I think it looks kind of nice. And this is a slime farm. Sorry, it's raining. But yeah, I do the mushroom trick. So mushrooms put out a light level of 1 and spawn. The slimes are the only thing that can spawn over light level 0. Only hostile mob that can spawn over light level 0. They can spawn, I believe, light level 7 to 0. So, yeah, the light level 1 prevents all other mobs from spawning except for these guys. And the iron golem in the middle, let me go to free cam so you can see a little bit of the iron golem in the middle is bait. And when the slimes spawn, they will go for him, fall into the powdered snow, freeze, break up into smaller slime, and then get funneled into this one campfire and then turned into some slime blocks. There's a little AFK glass thing right over here. If I stand here, it's a perfect distance away where you'll see all these guys spawning down there. and it's situated in such a way that there's either water or leaves around, so there's really no other area for them to spawn, or no other area for any other mobs to spawn. It's been running slower though since we updated to 1.21.10. I think we're on 11 now, but they must have made did some difference. Yeah, so usually I'd have like 3 or 4 slime spawn by then, but for some reason it's been running a little slower. Still works though, pretty well. But yeah, this is more of an AFK kind of style farm. You just hang out here and get your slime. And it really came in clutch for my needs. Gotta be careful though, there's a lot of lily pads around, you can smash into them. Just to prove that it's functioning. Yeah, I've got 43, probably just in that time. Okay, now on to, what do we move on to actually? Let's go on to, let's fly over to the island first, because I'm not that far from Manhattan, just so you can get that view. Wrong direction. And I'll show you all the little things that I've been doing in the island. I think this is actually a pretty cool flight. It's right over this ocean. And the island looks really, really cool when you fly up to it, in my opinion at least. Let's get a little higher too. Just about the clouds. Better Clouds has been updated. I love it. It's my last mod that I was holding out for 1.21.11. I love my Better Clouds mod. It looks absolutely wonderful. Yeah, so here it is in all its glory, loading in very slowly. Ooh, there we go. Alright, let's hop down into a new little area that I just built for my storage. Oh, it's right over here. Totally forgetting how to get down. Alright, so this is all decorated. This is very similar to the sugarcane side. This is for the bamboo. So just a water stream with a observer clock on a dropper on that end. This area that I'm about to show you is not decorated yet because I just built it out. So all those bamboo planks that I craft from the bamboo above will drop into this hopper minecart and then go down this line over into a furnace array. There's only 8 right now, but I'm going to fill up at least, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 more. So I'll have 12 total furnaces. But it's all automatic, and the cool thing is up here is not only is it automatically fueled, but I have it automatically repopulating. Here, let me just show you. Let me just show you. And then we'll climb back down here to show you the rest of all this doodads. So this is all the noodles, essentially all the redstone for my storage. So my storage is rather recent. I was just living out of double chests in the aforementioned hole in the ground, but now I have a copper golem powered storage. So essentially this is an input chest. I can put anything in here. I can put a full shulker. I can put an empty shulker. I can put any items all in here and just dump them in. And then I have a system that empties the shulkers and then breaks them and then puts those back in, it puts the empty shulkers back in the system and then obviously takes all the items away from it. And all the items just funnel into this copper chest anyway, this double copper chest, which has an iron or a copper golem. The copper golem will filter through these 6 chests looking for the items to put away. If he doesn't find them, he'll put them down into this chest, this overflow chest, which has a hopper chain with droppers that will push it up into this copper chest, and then this guy will try to do the same, and then he'll drop them into this, and then they go over to this copper chest, and this guy will do the same, so on and so forth until they make it, until these items make it all the way around the room. And yes, it's not the fastest system known to man, but I don't really care. I just wanted to be able to see these guys. I want to be able to see their little spinny heads, and you know, they're cute. and they're lively and they bring life to the base, and I think it's really, really cool. But what I just added, just over the weekend, just two days ago and yesterday, is this. So this is the input chest. You can drop anything in here. Let's just do it really quick. Let's, I already have plenty of smooth stone, but actually let's do cracked. Yeah, let's do some cracked bricks. Yeah, crash. Better yet, I don't have, yeah, I only have one cracked stone brick. So let's do everything but a stack of cracked bricks. There we go. All right, so you walk over here, you pop these guys in. It's not the fastest system in the world, but right now, what's happening is these guys are all getting dumped into this. And as soon as this chest is empty, then you can flip a lever to turn on the whole system. So I was trying to automate that process, but it ended up being more trouble than it's worth. So any second now. Okay, that's probably pretty good. Just give it a couple more seconds and then boom. Flip this on. All right, now we're funneling all that stone into these furnaces, you know, typical furnace array situation. And then as soon as the stone is cooked, it gets popped up into here. So from the outside, it's a super basic or super clean, simple system. And I hid everything away. It's like early in the stream I said, in my B situation, I actually have the redstone exposed. In this situation, I do not have the redstone exposed. I have it all hidden away. I'm not a huge fan of the look of furnace arrays, and I know people like to make those cool rooms where you have them like all tucked in the walls and stuff like that, but I just think the pattern of a bunch of furnaces side by side just doesn't look that great, and I think this looks a lot cooler, just, you know, having these like random chests and chest and barrel sitting on the ground. I bet that is done, so you have to turn it off. I mean, it won't hurt anything just to have this. Oh, where did it go? Okay, that's curious. How did this jump the track to that? What just happened? The minecart and chest, the chest minecart, was on the top track, and it's somehow now on the fuel track. That is the weirdest thing ever. I didn't imagine this is where the stream was gonna go. What happened? That is so strange. How is that even possible? Okay, it'll get stuck now. Let me go up and flip that lever a few times and see what's going on here. And this is the system for separating the shulkers. So the first thing it goes through is it goes down this hopper chain into this dropper, and then there's a clock on this dropper that has a 2-tick delay right over here, a 2-tick delay. So every other tick allows the clock to run, thus locking this hopper, so this hopper won't suck up items, and it gives this dropper a chance to try to push items into this shulker. And obviously shulkers can't go into other shulkers, so the items that can't go into the shulker, which is shulkers, drop down into this system, get dispensed right here, and then this system's smart enough to know if the shulker has things in it. If it doesn't have anything in it, it will instantly break it and then push it back into the water stream right over here. You can kind of see right over here. If it does have items in it, it will empty those items and then break it. And then all the items will funnel into this water stream. So we have a dropper down here at the bottom and a dropper here. And they go up into those honey blocks. The honey blocks are there to align the items, push them in, give plenty of space with a bunch of different hoppers. Here, go down here. So you'll see quite a few hoppers up there. That's so I have extra space just in case, you know, I dump like a full chest or something like that, or a full hop, or a full shulker box. So yeah, I think it works pretty well. My super smelter, on the other hand, has a minecart with a mind of its own. So let's see what the heck is going on there. All right, I'm gonna do the old, oops, not that. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna have to flip and go down. Okay, so it's still on the track. Like literally, this thing somehow managed to go down here. This chest with a minecart, just now. That's what happened. Okay, I'm gonna flip it. Flip it again. I don't get it. I don't understand how that's possible. Oh, there it goes. Oh, it's breaking. It shouldn't break like that though. Okay, I'll just put a block on this side. That's not a huge deal. Okay, let's do that. Let's troubleshoot this. The number one soul game of all time. Yeah, exactly, Birdie. Yeah, that shouldn't, the piston must be pushing it off or something, which is fine as long as it gets back on track, I think. And I think this block will do it. If not, it might be 2 or 3 blocks that I have to put in that area, but let's just pop 1 block in there initially and just see what happens. All right. Do scaffolding so I can get up and hold shift. First, let me grab it, and then maybe I should do one on the top too. Let's just test that. Let's see what happens. I'll try to time the flipping of the lever to knock it off the track. I wasn't going to decorate this area because I was like, I'm never going to come down here. This is going to be pretty isolated, but geez, the amount of time that I've had to come down here to troubleshoot both the shulker unloader and this super smelter. The super smelter is supposed to be the simple circuit. I might have to decorate it down there just so it looks more aesthetic. All right, here we go. Idiot. I have it in my inventory. I never claimed to be good at the game. My word. Back over. Let's first put the chest and minecart down. Then test it. Can I reach it right here? No, good. It's retracted, so I think it's fine as long as it's off. I think it's the act of turning it on and off that's knocking it off the track. That's actually a cool mechanic, though. I mean, if you could time that right, you could really use that. I'm sure in some farm. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let's try to time this. Okay, here we go, and nope, missed it. That one was fine. That one was fine. I burnt out the torch. There we go. Okay. All right. Spamming it didn't stop it. It did lock up that minecart though, so I think we're good. I think that block did it. Won't allow it to get knocked off the track. All right, let's go get the minecart working again. And I think we should be good to go with that system. go, and perfect. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Excelente. Let's give it a couple more flips of the switch just to be absolutely certain that it's functioning. Perfect. All right, we're good. And then I could take these 63 stone. I mean, I could just put them in the chest, but what fun is that? And then show you they're all just getting dispensed or dropped from this little observer clock situation, going up into this dropper elevator right here. And going into here. So now he's got them all, and he is going to, his station doesn't have stone in it, so he's going to drop them for this guy any second now. Hey, stone! And so on and so forth until they circle all the way around the room. The stone is in one of the last chests. I should have probably put in one of the first, but whatever. Not that big of a deal. All right, that is it, man. That is the grand tour. And we're back at the birthday cake. I don't know how I'm gonna kill the next half hour. Or 20 minutes or so. Let's see. Just making sure I didn't miss anything. I don't believe I did, though. Yeah, I think I'm good. I think I covered everything. So I'll probably just cut the stream a little early. Let me go to my new favorite spot first. I guess I have a Skelly's farm, but that's nothing to... off of a Skelly's spawner. That's nothing to really be proud of. It's pretty basic. It's as basic can get. All right. Thank you so much for attending the stream. That's been the world tour. Thank you for congratulating me on 1 year. I stuck it out, made it through the first year, so that's all that's necessary, right? Thank you all for all the support. 213 subscribers today, I think is what we have, unless we got more while I was here. I don't think so, though. Yeah, 213 subscribers. So that's where we sit on January 26th, 2026. Thank you so very much for all the support on the live streams, the shorts, and everything else. It's been a really cool ride. I've been having a lot of fun, and I'm going to continue having a lot of fun. I have so many plans for this year, including building out the forest, building out the beach, building out the burned area, amongst 2 new mini games that I have in the works right now. I'm not sure which one I'm going to work on first and get done first, but yeah, it's been a ride, and I really thank all the Astraea players for welcoming me into this community. I will probably at some point get back to my forever world, but for the time being, I'm kind of stuck on Astraea because it's been a really good time. Yeah, that's it. Thanks again.